Hey guys, how's it going? It's MangaxHunter here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer is one of, if not the most popular anime of 2019. It's gotten so much hype and so much attention. Anywhere you look on social media when it comes to manga or anime, you see either Tanjiro or Nezuko or some of the main characters fluttered around. So with it gaining so much popularity and so many people talking about it, I figured it was inevitable for me to eventually read it. So I ended up grabbing the first 8 volumes and decided to read them all and give you guys my thoughts. So here they are. So Demon Slayer takes place in the Taisho era in Japan, and our main character is a boy named Tanjiro right here. And he has a big family. Everybody in the town loves him, and he's just a really loved guy. But the thing about Tanjiro is that his father passed away earlier in his childhood, so it's up to him to kind of take up some of those fatherly roles in order to provide or help provide for his family. So the story starts off where we see Tanjiro going into town to sell some charcoal to make some money for his family. And as he goes in town, all the townspeople are yelling out to him and kind of joyful when they see Tanjiro. So it shows that he's a really lovable guy. Tanjiro sells his charcoal and comes back home to a horrible incident to see that his whole family has been killed by demons. Except that there's one person in his family still alive, and it's his younger sister, Nezuko. But when he goes up to wake up Nezuko, he finds out that she, in fact, has been turned into a demon. And so that's essentially where the story starts off. Tanjiro is set off on this mission to go and save Nezuko and try and figure out how to turn her back into a human. And the way he does that is by joining an organization called the Demon Slayer Corp. And through that, he can fight demons and eventually find out who turned Nezuko into a demon and end up finding a cure for her. So that's the plot, the generic plot of Demon Slayer. When I read the first 8 volumes, there are a few big strengths that I saw Demon Slayer had, and the first one being the characters. Our main character, Tanjiro, like I talked about, is extremely loved by all the other people within this world. He's an extremely empathetic and caring guy and is loved by everybody he comes into or interacts with. Tanjiro is extremely motivated to save his sister and protect her by all means necessary because he feels this heavy guilt and shame from not being there when his family was first attacked. And his motivation from his family pushes him forward throughout the story. And that's what shapes him to be the lovable character that he is. Now, while by far Tanjiro steals the show and is the most lovable character within Demon Slayer, there's a lot of really awesome characters as well. First off being Nezuko, his sister, which I'm sure you've seen all over social media. She's extremely cute and is pretty cool to see her flip a switch from being cute and adorable and protected by Tanjiro to being very vicious when she turns on her demon powers to protect Tanjiro and other humans. So Nezuko is really lovable, and not only that, but also the friends that Tanjiro meets as well. The first, and who I think is the strongest side character, is Zenitsu, who is this blonde hair boy. Zenitsu is very quirky and goofy, but also really scared and really fearful. And so it's fun to see him overcome his fears when having to fight these extremely vicious demons. And also he has a huge crush on Nezuko, so he tries to win her heart over. And so those are just a few of the characters that are really well written and really one of the strong suits for Demon Slayer. But not only are the friends really well written, but also the villain. So the main villain is a man named Muzan, who you see right here, kind of looks like Michael Jackson, who is this really ominous character that is behind all these humans turning into demons. Now, within the first 8 volumes that I read, not really much is said about Muzan, except for showing the pure fear that he strikes into his subordinates as well as the heroes within the show, or within the series, showing that he is extremely dangerous as well as very evil. Now, while there isn't a lot written about Muzan, the way that he's set up, everyone fears when his name is mentioned. So that's the first big strong point that I think Demon Slayer has that really carries the show. Next is the art. Now, when I first started reading the series, the art kind of threw me off and I didn't think much of it. But as I went on, I really started to appreciate, one, the character design and how emotional their faces are drawn to really show, depict whatever feeling that those characters are experiencing within that certain time. I think each character is really uniquely drawn, and their design is really cool, at least in my opinion. And so that's one thing that really caught my eye. Not only that, the action sequences are drawn really well and really fluently, so you're able to follow the flow of the battles that are going on, as well as they have a nice little artistic hint to them within battles. So while I can see the art being a controversial topic on if it's good or not, especially compared to the anime, which is really fleshed out and has a lot more detail, to me personally, I really enjoy the art of the series, and I think it is a strong suit. And then finally, the third strong suit that I think Demon Slayer has is just the fighting system and the different fighting techniques. So the main system that each character uses within Demon Slayer is breathing techniques. And so there's water breathing, there's flame breathing, there's sun breathing, various different breathing techniques that manifest their way into different types of sword slashes. That's the main weapon that each character uses, is a sword, and with each person's unique breathing techniques has a specific way that it manifests. Tanjiro uses a water breathing technique, so his attacks are very fluid and have like water coming out of them. Zenitsu's is a lightning breathing, so his are really sharp and fast and resemble lightning. So it's just cool to see how each person's breathing technique and their fighting techniques is unique and has a nice little flash to them. And it's also to see how they progress as well. So not only are the fight sequences drawn well, but it's cool to see the different ones that each character has, the different techniques that they learn, and the way that it's drawn and how it looks within fight sequences. That's really appealing to me and makes for really cool and intense fight scenes. Another thing about the characters that I think is really strong is also their dialogue. There's a lot of times in the series where I laughed or where I felt very emotional and almost teared up a little bit because of some of the dialogue going on between characters and how they're written up. Not only that, but also the facial expressions of the characters are really funny as well. So just a lot of laughs came out of me, especially Zenitsu when he has this weird thing where he can't really fight well except for when he's asleep. And so just seeing him go from really skittish to falling asleep and then just being a total badass is fun to see. So those are just a few of the strengths that I think about Demon Slayer and why I'm currently enjoying the series. So who would I recommend this to? First off, I think that Demon Slayer has a really good sense of humor, and the tone is a little more on the lighter side. So if you're looking for more of a seinen, more of a dark themed series, this series definitely has some dark themes and definitely dips into those a bit, but overall I would say it's more of a lighthearted series. And so I'd recommend it for people looking for more of a shonen read or more of a lighthearted action series with some comedic elements. People who like samurai art style, samurai art, like swords, and I guess like demons as well, which is kind of a cop-out. But honestly, I'm really enjoying the series. The first volume I read, I thought it was all right. And then I ended up grabbing 2 through 8. And as I kept going on, I fell more and more in love with the series. In fact, this recent volume 8, like I was really kind of fighting. I was tearing up a little bit, like there's a pineapple in my throat, because it got pretty emotional. And I think the characters are well written. It's funny. It's got great action. The villain is well written and well portrayed as well. And it seems like it's going to be more of a grand story, figuring out what's the motivation behind the main villain. But if I'm giving this a rating out of 10, right now I think I would give Demon Slayer an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's amazing, but I think what it's trying to do, it does really well. It's really enjoyable, funny, and it's just a fun read. So guys, I would recommend it, especially if you haven't checked it out yet, because it's really popular right now. So you'll be able to catch along with some of the memes that are going on through social media. But that's gonna do it for the review, guys. Tell me what you think about Demon Slayer if you have read it. Tell me who your favorite character is. Mine is definitely Zenitsu, if you couldn't tell from how much I talked about him. But still, I think the characters are great. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.